Would have thought your adventure turned into a forever stay. And I've been thinking a lot, and I've been drinking myself down the drain. You used to live within the clouds, yet still somehow had stayed grounded for more than 5 years. Not today. Not today.